What up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with an absolute epic of a reaction for you. It is Friday and we are kicking off today right, and this one you guys have requested an insane amount for months, over half of the year. Well, it is finally here, and I am talking about Anthony Padilla's I Spent a Day with Corpse's Husband. That is right, it is time for me to dive into Corpse's Husband finally, last but not least, and we will also be listening to his music for the very first time in the upcoming week or so. But I'm beyond hyped for this, and I hope you enjoy the reaction. I currently have COVID, that's why my voice sounds like I just got done mowing grass with my teeth. But I'm beyond hyped for this, and if you enjoy the reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking. Let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats. Hot Sauce Beats. Woo-hoo!
Let's go, Sauce Gang. Let's go, and make sure you subscribe to Anthony Padilla too.
Corpse Husband, aka Corpse, is a faceless YouTuber and musician known for his strikingly deep voice, charismatic personality, and an identity shrouded in mystery. Corpse began his career on YouTube in 2015, in which he became well known for his ominous horror story narrations. Secretly behind the scenes, Corpse was busy crafting his own unique musical style and rocked the industry with his debut single release in 2020, all while garnering extensive mainstream attention for his incredible plays in the immensely popular social deduction game Among Us. Since the last time I sat down with Corpse, he's exploded in popularity, spanning from 1.2 million subscribers to the 7.2 million subscribers he's achieved today, not to mention his songs, which have garnered over 200 million plays since then. My name is Anthony Padilla, and today I'm going to be sitting down with Corpse to learn what it's like to live a completely anonymous life while simultaneously becoming possibly one of the most popular creators and musicians of this generation. Has this meteoric rise to super fame been a blissful experience as a seemingly infinite amount of doors have been opened for Corpse in his career? Or has the added pressure of millions of new fans and new critics with their own expectations and layers of scrutiny caused an existential struggle behind the scenes for someone who's already opted to keep their identity completely hidden from the outside world?
This is gonna be a good one. Let's go!
Hello, Corpse.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on here and teaching me about the world of Corpse Husband.
I gotta.
Oh, and that's right. So this is just like when he did the Dream interview and it was animated. So obviously that's not Corpse chilling like a villain.
Whole world to myself now.
The last time you were on here, that was the first time you were ever on camera, right? The first time you ever had cameras pointed at you?
Yeah, it was fucking terrifying.
Part of me thought that you were not gonna end up doing it because it was, I know it was so nerve-wracking for you.
Dude, it was so scary.
So he did another interview with, oh yeah, that's where, what's it called? I spent a day with like faceless YouTubers, but he was there for that interview?
Before we did that interview, you were like laying on the couch right outside, just like,
I didn't know that you saw that.
like, I wanted to give you space, but I was like, your anxiety is not a
saw
joke.
that.
Yeah, because I was last to do the interview, so I had longer to think about it.
You've blown up massively since we last spoke. How has that all been for you?
Good and bad, of course. There are a lot of amazing things that have came from it, and also very difficult things to deal with that came from it as well. So, I mean, overall, it's a positive, of course.
Has it been easier to keep your identity hidden, considering everyone wears a face mask now thanks to COVID?
It's been easier because of that, because nobody looks at me like I'm a freak anymore when I wear a mask in public. But also, since I've grown so much, I feel like everyone's staring at me every time I leave my house. So it's gotten scarier.
Do you have to like change your voice when you're out in public?
I avoid talking at all costs anywhere in public.
Do you think that you're more confident now in your decision to always be faceless than you were before?
Last year was at my breaking point with it, where I was just gonna like be less careful until it inevitably happened, and now I feel like I have to be.
Now, chat, am I right? Didn't like a month or two ago, didn't someone actually reveal his face without his permission? Right?
Really careful again. I feel like I would be happier in a world where I could be myself openly and not worry about like hiding from everybody, but I do think it's also the best decision for me because I don't think I could handle that many people like judging me at once.
I wish I could say it gets easier as you go along, but I think the reality is that you just get more used to having people constantly shit on you.
Yeah, it's hard to get thrown into like the deep end of that all at once.
When I first started, I got to reveal my face to 10 people, and then 20 people, and 30 people, and it grew slowly over time. You have all these expectations for what you should look like, especially with your voice that's so unique. So throwing yourself out there, it'd be like literally throwing yourself to the wolves.
And like you said with you, it was gradual, and with the gradual part of it comes the haters being gradual as well. But for me and people that blow up very quickly, it's all of that at once. There's no gradual like learning of that.
And I've seen some people spreading fake DMs that have been photoshopped to show like, oh, Corpse revealed his face and look what he looks like. And I know, because I've seen you, granted you had a mask on, but I've seen you, you don't look anything like these people. But these poor people are getting completely shit on for looking that way.
They're taking the pictures from real life people. I don't know if they end up seeing it, and then because people think it's me, they just shit all over it, even though they're normal looking people. So that's what normal looking people get for people that think it's me. Then I can't imagine if it was actually me.
Because people treat popular people as if they have no feelings and no heart.
In people's heads, I'm more of like a character or like a brand or like an anime character or something.
Yeah.
So Jay, I'll admit, I don't really know much about Corpse. We did react to one of his videos where he played the oh my god, the Squid Game, and there was a bunch of people. That was a really fun video. But really outside of that, and I've seen like a couple Among Us videos that he was a part of. Other than that, I really don't know much at all about him. And I know he's been on Tommy's server a couple times, or the Dream SMP, but that's about it.
So they don't treat me as if I'm an actual person.
Have you had any close calls with your identity being discovered since we last talked?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how specific I should get with them, but definitely.
Why? Because if you're specific, they might know how close it was, and it might reveal it to them.
Exactly. Yeah, they know. They know 100%. Like,
oh no!
Have you experienced any burnout or fatigue now knowing just how many people are watching you and expecting something very specific from you?
Dude, absolutely. Like every single day, I feel like that. Every day is the last day people will care about me online.
So there are tons of people that think your voice is fake. There were actually tons of people that were surprised to find out that your voice in my last video was your real voice.
There is not a single picture of me from before YouTube with my entire face in it.
They thought that it was to mask your identity further.
A lot of people think that. It's usually angry men. I'm not competing with anybody, dude. I'm just talking.
There's even a ton of TikToks of young kids, little boys, who are faking your voice.
For everyone has been wondering, yes, this is my real voice.
I think it's super cute. I think it's very funny. Like, is that flattering for you?
I get a lot of DMs like that from guys who are like, bro, I sound just like you, and then a good voice message, and I'm like, yeah.
You're creating a whole generation of people who feel like maybe having a deep voice can be a cool defining factor.
It is super fascinating.
How do you feel when people almost fetishize your voice?
If they want to send me like a 10-page email about everything they want to do to me because of my voice, then I'm like, okay, that's a little weird.
Have you gotten emails like that?
Oh yeah, I've gotten such fucking weird emails, dude.
What is the general gist?
They'll think I'm not like a real person. And I don't mean that like metaphorically. I mean like literally they think I'm like some kind of like soul being.
Can you clear up once and for all why your voice is so deep?
My voice is just primarily deep because it's deep. Genetics, I guess.
I love that. I mean, yeah, I can explain it. My voice is deep because it's freaking deep.
Corpse's mom sounds just like him. Corpse's grandfather and grandmother both sound like that.
Thanksgiving dinner just sounds like. I do have a medical condition, and it does contribute to my voice, but not as much as everybody says it does.
Is that GERD?
GERD has like a spectrum to it. They put a scope down my throat through my nostrils, and my throat is corroded, and it's like touching my vocal cords.
So it's actually vibrating on your vocal cords and kind of adding that deep raspiness to it, or at least a little bit of it?
I'm not sure, like there's no way to measure it.
Before we continue learning about the world of Corpse Husband, if there's ever been any artwork of you that's been so accurate that it scares you.
God, yes. I'm gonna text it to you.
Right,
a little
let's
bit
jump
off,
ahead
and
here,
I was
fam.
so allow many of you, which is a tool what
get into the corpse
certified live therapy,
interview.
live portable, less than listen better. Corpse Husband. The fans
here we go,
after
fam.
you started streaming Among Us. How did the whole Among Us situation happen? I mean, I saw you started to get invited literally on some of the biggest channels on YouTube.
I was just hanging out on Discord, and then Dave Boynaband messaged me and was like, yo, do you want to play Among Us with PewDiePie on stream right now? And I was like, okay, sure.
You could have
yeah,
slept
yeah.
through your huge boom and success.
Yeah, like completely.
How many years were you working on music before you started to release music?
A lot of people think that I just started making music. I was making beats and stuff when I was 12. I had like 30 plus songs before I released anything. I've had stuff with rock elements. I've done stuff with singing elements. I've f***ed around and made country songs before. Like,
How would you define
You imagine Corpse in a country song?
your sound now?
dude, I have no idea what to call it. I mean, it's got a lot of bass.
Your demeanor is very different in some of your tracks than what you display otherwise, with lyrics such as choke me like you hate me but you love me, low-key wanna date me when you f me.
That's hilarious.
Like you hate me, but you love me. Low-key wanna date me when you f me.
Is that
So that's what is was that E-Girls ruining my life? I think that's definitely one of the ones that we
a
gotta check out,
character,
fam.
persona that's separate
Definitely.
from you?
It's definitely me. I mean, like all my music is me. Besides maybe like the Cat Girls song was kind of made as a joke. As far as everything else, it's all me. It's exaggerated parts of me for the sake of expressing myself. It's not really a character.
It's an element
God,
of you
his
that we don't get
voice
to
is
see
so
otherwise.
deep.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
can't.
some people get to see it. Your song Agoraphobic was probably your most vulnerable track yet.
I can't do shit right, I can't learn my lesson. I can't do shit right, take antidepressants. Illness and welfare robbed my adolescence. My friends probably hate me.
Ooh,
can't
little
answer
lo-fi
my
beats.
message.
Was it liberating to
That's some
open up about
lo-fi
your
beats,
struggles through your
fam.
art?
To drop that song after I dropped E-Girls Are Ruining My Life, which is a complete juxtaposition from that one. A lot of people were telling me like it would be career suicide to do that.
You were able to kind of give the middle finger to people who tried to box you into one certain genre.
Completely,
Corpse
yes.
isn't about one specific sound.
Completely.
I get bored way too quick to do one thing.
Is there anything you could tell us about what you're working on now with your music, any collabs or anything that you're developing behind the scenes?
Yeah, I just had that song with Machine Gun Kelly. It's f***ing insane. Like it's very raw, and
So that's actually the only song I've heard of Corpse. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I'm a really, really big Machine Gun Kelly fan, but that's the only music at all that I've heard of.
aggressive.
I know that you just recently were diagnosed with something. Can you go into that? Can you explain what that was like?
Well, I had a nerve conduction study where they basically shock you and put needles in all your muscles, and
It's like
enjoyable
Hellraiser.
process. Yeah, it's epic. For the people that have been around for a long time, they've known I've had problems with my arms and stuff like that. They're pretty sure that what they found has to do with that. I'm just kind of emotionally dealing with the fact because it's not curable.
What did they say about it?
She was like rushing me at the door. I'm like, is there any way to like treat this or fix this? And I was like, have you seen anyone be cured of this? And she was like, I've never seen it before.
How has that affected the way that you approach
Wow.
everything going forward?
I'm a pretty pessimistic person, as you know.
What gave that away?
I haven't felt like anything has been real for like a very long time. I'm mourning ever having a normal, healthy, functional life again.
You're grieving the fact that your memories of how you used to be, you know, what defined you and your sense of self will no longer be attainable in the same way.
And then with the blowing up and everything, like there's just so much that's happened to me in this past year.
Do you kind of feel like you're just floating through the world in a sense?
Dude, absolutely. Like people in their early 20s or whatever don't get it. And then you ask like, why? Why is this happening to me? Like
Yeah.
what? I still don't have I still don't know why it happened. I have no fucking clue why I just randomly woke up one day and couldn't move my arm. Like, I have no fucking clue. I think I've dissociated so much to where I just don't.
So fam, this is something I'm learning about him. I didn't know he had a condition where he can't, just sometimes he randomly can't move his arms and all. Or is it his limbs too, or just his arms?
I don't care anymore.
What kind of symptoms are you dealing with daily?
It's just a lot of pain. I'm having to change how I sit every 2 seconds right now in this conversation with you, just so that my entire arm doesn't go numb. And like, at my absolute worst, I remember crawling to the door to get groceries and barely being able to do that. I tried to pour cereal, and then when I went to like lift the spoon to my mouth to eat it, I couldn't do it.
What kind of a lifestyle did you have before you started experiencing all these health conditions?
I was a very, very active person. I weightlifted most days of the week. Imagine like the worst physical shape you've ever been in your life, and also having millions of people expecting you to look the best you've ever looked in your life. And you can't even be like, oh, I'll work towards that. You just literally can't.
What have been some of the downsides or struggles that come along with all of this?
Relentless expectations. And I get so much hate online every single day.
People already treat celebrities with their faces out there, famous people with their faces out there, no matter what they do, as if they're a dumpster. And then here you are without your face out there, so people get to treat you even more like you're not a real person at all.
I did a tweet on Twitter just to prove a point. I did a voice memo and I just breathed. Like,
the infamous corpse breath tweet.
People will get mad at anything that's popular. I guarantee you I'm gonna get so much shit for literally breathing. They'd be like, oh my God, you guys are so obsessed with him. Like, look at it, he's just breathing, and then like, or he's trying to breathe super sexually, or like, it's literally just breathing, but people want to spin it to be that.
Let's try it,
That's crazy.
How was that? Did that make you feel some type of way?
A lot of people say that my supporters are toxic and blah, 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 but then they're the ones going out of their ways to like poke at them.
So many people do that, and I see that with different parts of the internet all the time. People shaming people.
Fam, this is a really good interview. Like I said, you guys know this if you've seen it in my other Anthony Padilla reactions. The dude just finds ways to make the interviewee feel so comfortable, and like he's just not asking off the top of the head funny questions or any, like he's getting into deep personal stuff, and he just has a way at disarming these, the interviewees, and just making everyone feel comfortable, feel at home with him and comfortable. And it creates for an amazing interview.
In a hateful way for what they see as that person not being a good enough person. And yet that person, shaming that person for not being a good enough person, is being a very bad person.
It's absolutely
Being twisted.
People just don't like things that are popular. People are comparing me to massive artists who I don't even want to be compared to. They hear some super minimal thing I recorded in my room next to someone like Lady Gaga or something, and they're like, they have to be, who's better?
Right.
Like,
Why
I'm not
would
trying
you
to be better
compare
than
him to
anybody.
Lady Gaga?
People have my
Get outta
notifications on just to hate me.
Dude, every single time I release one of these videos, I immediately have 10 dislikes. I'm like, whoa. You turn on notifications because you want to dislike the video? That's how much time you want to give to me?
If someone wants to keep my notifications on so they can watch e-girls hit 100 mil, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like,
What's next? Are you going to continue dabbling in those areas, or are you going to expand in other ways as well?
I like f***ing with the world. It's fun. As much as everybody gets mad at me, I think it's funny that people get mad at a blank tweet. My fans are in on the joke too. Like, that's what the people who hate me don't get, is they see a breathing tweet with 300,000 likes, but the 300,000 people are liking it just to piss off those people, so they're actually playing into it.
You're literally
That's
trolling people, and these people are getting pissed because it's become a meme, and they don't even realize
So
it.
here's something too I didn't know, is I didn't realize there's so much hate for Corpse. The dude's just a cool dude. Like, what can you hate about Corpse? I mean, I know any famous person gets hate, but like, what?
It's a strand of my hair. It's a picture of my hand. Like,
All they're doing is clicking a like button on it, and that's literally where it ends. But people who see you know, 1.3 million likes on a photo of you holding a strand of your hair, they think that people are like jerking off to this photo. It's like, no, they just click the like button. That's where it ends.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple people that did.
For the most part, yeah.
Right.
I mean, we won't go into the fact that some people have gotten, you know, a tattoo of your strand of your hair.
It's just fun.
Before we continue learning even more about the world of Corpse Husband, I wanted to take another quick moment to thank our sponsor, ExpressVPN, for continuing to support this series. ExpressVPN is an app in the world region and Cat's now streaming service. Click the link to VPN surf.
I don't have time off, man. Ever since all this started, I've just been working every single day.
It's either work or trying to get comfortable in your chair and trying to get comfortable in your bed.
So, I mean, hopefully I get to keep inciting chaos for at least a couple more months.
Has being faceless and keeping your anonymous identity pushed you away from keeping contact with your real life friends and your family?
A little bit. Some of the issue has been with my voice is like I never talk to anyone over the phone that I don't know.
Because someone would be able to pinpoint.
Oh, wow.
When my Postmates driver can't find my house and they call me like, where do you live? I can't even pick up and be like, oh, I live here. Because next thing I know, I answer and he goes, Corpse. And then they know where I live too, you know what I mean? Like I'm afraid to.
I knew it.
Even at like doctor's
give me a
appointments
big
and like just stuff like that, I'm afraid.
You're afraid that the doctor might recognize you?
It's like, oh, get undressed for this MRI or whatever. Oh, nice meeting you, Corpse.
As you're getting your colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Nicole asks, when people refer to Corpse, do you feel like they're referring to a character or to you personally?
I take it as me personally, I think, because how I act as Corpse is me anyway. Like how I'm talking to you right now and how I talk to people outside of YouTube is a little bit different, not because I want it to be, but because there are certain things that I can't talk about on YouTube. I was and still am dealing with so much mental shit. When I was doing those Among Us streams first starting, like literally like 20 minutes before some of them, I was literally like cutting my face with razor blades. Like, and then I just get on in front of hundreds of thousands of people, you know what I mean? And it's like, they don't see those things, you know what I mean?
There's these things that you deal with that isn't necessarily for other people to take part in. And people kind of feel like everything that anyone who has any kind of following does is there to be judged. So I guess, you know, there is that benefit that you have being faceless, that you don't have to divulge in why anything about your appearance has changed, especially if it's something dealing with depression or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why are you sad? You're famous.
Yes, money helps so much, but money can't solve everything, and it especially can't solve mental health issues. And the whole world is going through so much right now with COVID and everything else, and depression rates are higher than ever before. It doesn't matter what your class is, these things can affect you. Should we be...
So fam, this is definitely something I wasn't expecting. Like this is a deep interview. Like they're definitely talking about some pretty dark stuff that, I had no clue.
Grateful for having more possibilities and options because we are financially well off in many ways. Absolutely, but that doesn't make people who are in the spotlight completely immune to dealing with any of those issues.
How many celebrity suicides and artist suicides is it going to take for people to be like, you know, it happens, and all the hate comments and shit like that, like we're people.
Joe Mama wants to know if there's ever been any artwork of you that's been so accurate that it scares you.
Oh my God, yes. It is so scary.
I mean, like, does any part of you think like they know something? They
like, I don't think they knew, but it just blew my mind. I'm gonna text it to you. They did a few of them, but
oh shit, dude, that is exactly you.
It's so scary.
They got everything right. The hair, the eye shape, the eyebrows. This looks like someone just straight up like went in and photographed you. When you sent this to me, I literally thought that.
I'll tell you what's creeping me out is this animated corpse looking at his phone. It looks so real and so fake at the same time. It's creepy.
You just sent me a selfie. Are you ever going to do a face reveal? Last time we spoke, you said that you were so tempted you would sometimes take a selfie, have your finger over the button, you would drop your phone, you would say like, fate can decide this for me.
I don't think I'm gonna face reveal on purpose anytime soon. It's just way too much now.
Do you feel like you're not being authentically yourself when you're not showing your face?
Like, the more that people know about me online, the less I can be open about myself in my private life. Because then, like, oh, this matches up with Corpse. Like,
you've kind of dug yourself into a hole. You backed yourself up into a corner with how much you've been honest about yourself, because now if you tell anyone anything real about yourself in person, it would line up too closely. You've almost chosen, inadvertently, but you've chosen to be your authentic self to the internet only. And therefore your interactions in real life are inauthentic because you can't be authentic.
I can't be authentic with people in my personal life because I was too authentic with people online. I'm just so
that's crazy.
Unapologetically myself that it kind of hurts to like not be myself in any degree.
So you just rather not interact at all?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about you?
Whenever I get on the phone with big artists or other big YouTubers, they're like, all right, drop it. What's your name? What do you look like? And I'm like, dude, it's not a joke. Like, I fucking hate myself, like, deeply.
Nothing changes when you garner any kind of success. In fact, it just makes everything that you had before more difficult. It amplifies everything.
For the most part, I'd say it amplifies the issues that you already had if you have issues to begin with.
I can't personally think of anyone more deserving of the success that you've gotten. I've felt that since the first time I met you. You're a very, very genuine person, and you weren't afraid to be vulnerable, and you're just so naturally kind and charismatic. And I know that you deal with issues with your self-esteem and your own image of yourself, but I mean, just coming from someone who interacts with a lot of people, I just want to tell you that I feel like you are so deserving of everything you have, and I don't think that you're going to lose it.
Thank you very much.
All right, you got 5 seconds to shout out or promote anything you want directly into camera. Go.
Shout out Bingus. Shout out.
What's Bingus?
All hell Bingus.
Hell Bingus. Always subscribe to Anthony Padilla's channel on your dog's Instagram, on your
Thank you so much, Corpse. I feel like I understand the world of Corpse husband just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's complicated. I hate it here.
After spending the day with Corpse, I've come to understand that despite the myriad of benefits that fame can bring, being in the public eye comes with its own unique set of complications. If one's identity is shrouded in mystery or not, we all have everyday struggles, and a public-facing facade is only one aspect of any story.
Damn. Let me bring you in. Oh my God. On every smartphone. Spotify, dang your ads. Jeez, like, I'm not gonna lie, that interview borderline left me speechless. It, you know, I think this is a great example that, like, I think people have this image built up of, you know, what being famous is like and what famous people's lives are like. And at the end of the day, famous people are real people. They're just like me and you. You know, just some things went certain ways for them, and, you know, they got famous and made money, and it doesn't mean they don't still have issues. And yes, 100%, when you're famous, it amplifies those issues and can really make you feel alone. It can really isolate you because you don't know, A, who your friends are, who you can trust, stuff like that. But this was such an amazing interview, and I know a lot of people can relate to a lot of the stuff that Corpse's husband is going through. You know, we all have demons that we deal with on the daily, and you know, we all deal with them differently. And so this was a very relatable interview. I love this, and that's what I was saying, like, why I love Anthony Padilla so much as an interviewer, because he really asks those tough and deep, real questions, and makes the interview relatable. So, dang you, COVID. But anyways, I see why you guys have been requesting this for so long, and if you've made it this far through my raspy voice and my when I breathe, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and if you enjoyed this video, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free, and it greatly helps out the channel. Show Anthony Padilla and Corpse Husband some love as well. Subscribe to them. Enjoy your upcoming weekend, and remember, It's Eat, Sleep, and Make Beats, and as usual, be kind to one another, and that's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got him love for the Sauce Gang. Peace out. My voice sounds like straight trash. I love you guys. Boom.